What's up? What's up? What's up? Your boy Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching Ohmeezzy. She thinks 10K a month isn't enough for a streamer. I'm barely surviving off the money I make now. I don't even make money from YouTube yet, man. I'm doing all these videos. People ask me to do all these reactions and shit. Damn, nigga, I ain't even making. I made $100. That's it. I made $100 one time on YouTube. 10K, nigga. You know what I do with 10K a month? I gotta start streaming, boy. Y'all be making motherfuckers famous for no reason. God damn, 10K a month. What you doing with 10K? Anyway, that's just my grievance. I'm sorry, I'm broke. But anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna get into it.
Y'all know how expensive it is to keep up with content creation? You could get a 10K check from Twitch.
Okay.
What the f is a 10K check when you gotta spend 5K on trips just to travel, $500 on setup, $2,000 on your rent, $200 on Wi-Fi, $200 on IRL toolkit. You gotta pay the.
Damn, was she? I mean, I guess the rent part, 2,000 on rent. Okay, you can just you a popular streamer, so you can't just live anywhere. 5K to travel. Where the fuck's you going? Where the fuck you going? 5K? Who you bringing Who you bringing all the Young Money with you? YMCMB with you? Drake, Nicki, all them?
Clippers, pay a YouTube editor. Chat, I don't think y'all realizing
YouTube
I'll be
editor.
going into negative doing this.
Girl, all you do is post clips.
Going into the negative after making $10,000 in any check, I don't care. This is streamer Snowcone, who was a small gaming streamer before Streamer University. You know, the one where everybody came to the campus hosted by Kai Cenat and ultimately became IRL streamers and sparked this whole revolution of streaming that we're seeing. Yeah, she took the opportunity that she got there, got the package, and capitalized. Now, unfortunately, though, she did a master class in what not to do when you're streaming.
I don't know what this is.
Megan Thee Stallion's new tequila, so you get to
I think I walked past her every time.
I don't know. It's really free Tory, so I don't know. I said it's free Tory. It's for Megan Thee Stallion. We signed with my man's Tory.
That's what's costing you $10,000 to do? Like, that's what you're spending your $10,000 a month on. Let's really break this down for a second.
You could get a 10K check from Twitch. What the f is a 10K check when you gotta spend 5K on trips just to travel,
10K
$500
check.
on setup, $2,000 on your rent, $200 on Wi-Fi, $200 on IRL toolkit. You gotta pay the Clippers, pay a YouTube editor. Chat, I don't think y'all realizing I be going into negative.
Now, I want to address the $2,000 rent and the $500 streaming setup. Look, you live where you live, and I'm not saying rent isn't outrageous. You know, we need to find cost efficient and, you know, rent control areas, and rent control needs to be just a nationwide thing at this point. But that is a living expense. That's not just one about being a streamer. You were going to have to pay that, or maybe pay one less, even if you just had a regular job. So you don't get that one. And $500 stream setup, why do you need to do that every single month? And I think that there's a reason why, which brings us back to the $5,000 travel. It's funny because she used to be a desktop gaming streamer, but now because she has stepped into the IRL niche, she is now spending this amount of money each month on pulling some sort of stream off. And these things can become expensive. You need a plane ticket for yourself, a plane ticket for your camera person, you need the hotels, you need the food, you need the gas, you need the rental cars. All this stuff can and will add up, but it begs the question, do you need to be doing this to become successful? I know that streaming IRL is the new meta, and so especially because she got the stimulus package and she's a part of a specific community, she's been able to go to all these different events, whether it be going to DreamCon, Streamer University, Streamer Prom, you know, visiting Funny Mike, or whatever the case may be. These are all things that have boosted her streams. But if the risk isn't worth the reward to the point where you're going negative every single month, then I don't know if it's worth it. Actually, I know for a fact it's not worth it. I've talked about this multiple times in the streaming conversation. This one-up culture is ultimately going to hurt a lot of the streamers. Sure, it can pay.
What the hell you editing? What you editing? Cause you is not making no Mr. Beast type video, which I'm not trying to compare to Mr. Beast, blah blah blah. But you ain't making nothing. Like, you posting clips from your stream. You can do that shit yourself. Yeah, nigga, I edit all my videos, nigga, and nigga, I don't, nigga, this shit, I am ass. I want to get better at editing. I need to actually break down and actually start really editing, but I mean, I'm doing reactions. Like
off in some extent, but continuously having to one up yourself month in and month out while simultaneously not seeing all the rewards and successes can ultimately be a dumbass financial decision for a lot of these content creators. That's why she's spending $500 a month on the streamer setup, is because every single month she's trying to find ways to one up and do a different meta and change something, do something new here, because she thinks that that is what will get her to be a more successful streamer. But I'm sorry, not when a time when eggs are $6, I know, old joke, and gas is through the roof, people are getting laid off left, right, and sideways, do you get to complain about doing content creation as a job and even seeing a $10,000 check? That's double the average and then some of people's monthly income, and you're complaining because you blow through it every month? Shut up. There's been a recent trend of streamers being more open, honest, and upfront about their situation. I think a lot of consumers are more understanding of how much money is in streaming, and it has a lot of people curious about the money that is in streaming. So when they open their mouths to then describe, you know, how much money they're making, you would think that it would be from a good, genuine place that is then accepted by the youth, and then they go on to make decisions about their streaming or their content creation careers. But oftentimes it comes out as just the most ungrateful conversation in the world.
Being completely honest and upfront with you guys, the money is not good enough. It was not good enough. It's simple as that. I streamed for 9 hours yesterday, right, and I made $1,500 off of it, or $1,700. So if I'm being completely up,
I work 8 hours a day, right? So let me do my math on my money real quick. I don't want y'all. Let's say I made. I don't want y'all niggas in my pockets. Let's say I made like $20 an hour. You know what I'm saying? That's what, 160 a day. Yeah, 160. 20, 40, 160 a day. So I wish I could get 1,500 a day. You know, I wish I could. You know, I. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all like is you comparing and contrasting, like niggas are complaining about making $1,500 in 9 hours. 9 hours. And people might say, "Oh, bro, you hating? You just mad because you ain't." No, nigga. If complaining about making $1,500 in 9 hours is like, I don't know what you want me to say to that. Like, nigga, I don't like what you want, nigga. What do you want, nigga? There's niggas making less than $160 in a day. There's people making less than that, living off that in a day. So it's hard if people doing these sit downs and talking to you, talking about something only made $1,500 in 9 hours, 8 hours. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up.
Front and honest, it's just the money's not worth having to, you know, co-stream on 2 platforms.
Now, I did some quick math, and you've got to be like a surgeon or a top-level physician or an anesthesiologist or a damn CEO in order to make $166 an hour. That's exactly what Lacey was complaining about, saying that it wasn't enough money. Again, to the average person, doesn't make a fraction of that. $1,500 is a paycheck, like a full paycheck for people, let alone something that you make in 1 day's worth of work. I think that it's just messed up because they're talking to an audience in which, you know, they're then in turn needing their financial contributions, donations, you know, subscriptions or whatever in order to support them, while then seemingly simultaneously shitting on them or shitting on the amount of money that they are making in that time frame. These are the cost of living a top 1% life. And I don't think that people understand that streamers like Snowcone, even at the small threshold that she's at, where she streams to 700 viewers live, is living a top 1% life. The only reason why she has the overhead that she has is because she decided decided to be that way. But truly and honestly, if you stay true to yourself,
need a
and what a
fucking
lot of other
budget.
content creators and streamers have been talking about for the past couple months, is that you don't need to go down this path of chasing everybody, because it may ultimately not end up being beneficial in the long run. If it's so bad, stop.
This is why we need to stop holding these celebrities, bro. Celebrity streamers, whatever y'all want to call them, YouTubers. Stop holding people to looking at them all high and mighty, bro. Stop it. Stop looking up to these people, bro. You know, these people are regular motherfuckers, bro. These niggas making all, nigga. These niggas is complaining about making $1,500 in a day. Come on. Niggas are complaining about making $10K a month. These are the people y'all watch. They're the people that you watch, that we watch. I'm gonna say we. Fuck it. We watch. I don't watch streams like that because I don't have time to watch streams. But people that we watch complaining. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go clock in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be on no hate train about it. It's just weird that that people hold these people so up, all high and mighty, like, nigga. Like, people get so invested in these people. It's like, oh, let's say, for example, random celebrity, fucking Beyonce. Let's say Beyonce fucking go through a divorce with Jay-Z. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Beyonce. Oh my gosh, she's going through a divorce. Wow, I know it's not right, which is cool. Right. She's a regular person going through a divorce. They gotta be tough. But she's going home into her $1 million mansion. At the end of the day, I don't know how bad can you feel somebody that's going home to $1 million mansion, regardless if she has a husband or not. There's niggas getting divorced right now. Nigga, half their money gone. You know what half their money means? They going back to live with their mama. You know what I'm saying? If that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
doing this stuff. And especially stop disrespecting those that are sitting there contributing to your day-to-day life, your livelihood, your funds, your streams, your whatever. They don't want to hear that shit. I don't know when this trend of, shitting on the everyday person from the content creators became so popular, but I did see one phase video not too long ago where they did the same old tired 9-to-5 worker isn't hard trope again. At some point, enough is enough.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery or 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh, brother. We're saving thousands, you're saving what?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right.
What do you mean you saving thousands? Cause thousands of people watching your stream? You ain't saving. Nigga just watch just to watch. Nigga, they bored. Nigga.
Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff.
I know, they
for me
must
when
be
I'm at
trolling.
home.
They definitely trolling.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of $1,000s.
Because they were trained for a decade, then they had to go to school. You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
I physically
They
can't run
trolling.
around bags of makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You know
done.
about if the Elgato wasn't on.
I'm not your target audience, so break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black. You don't lie because I'm black.
Not fun at all, because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me. Give a man a rope. Wait,
It means-
is that racist?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of out of
That
bounds. All
was
of it, to
crazy.
be honest with you, is
That
just
was crazy.
rage bait. Like, it's to the point where this
They
is
trolling.
some sort of content that I don't think will ultimately last. And I'm specifically talking about the rage baiting portion of it. Now, Snowcone did take to the internet to try to clean it up, but
What she
I
said?
don't
I ain't see
know.
that- I ain't see
This
this
isn't the
one.
best apology either. It never is the best cleanup. You just got to leave some of this stuff alone. She says, I never once complained about getting a 10K check. Let's start with the fact that the entire video was taken out of context. My chat was spamming things like, you're rich, you should be able to buy clothes, why aren't you paying mods, etc. In response, all I did was explain, not complain, how a 10K check could be quickly eaten up by expenses, especially for streamers coming out of Streamer University who had a lot of trips and events planned afterwards. To clarify, I did not receive a 10K check, but the expenses I mentioned were very real and accurate. Here's the breakdown. $4,000 for 3 trips, me and my cameraman's expenses. Ain't the cameraman her boyfriend? Dang. It's messed up. I took right after Streamer University. Trips I don't regret at all. They helped me meet other amazing creators.
It helps you get more subs to get more money. Help you get more subs and followers, subscribers to get more money.
and create a ton of content. $400 to buy an IRL streaming setup, my first one ever, $2,000 on basic living expenses, $200 on Wi-Fi, and $150 for an IRL toolkit. And that's just what I can recall off the top of my head, not even including tax. Sure, I could have stayed home and avoided traveling, but I wouldn't have made the connections I did or gained the opportunities that came from these experiences. That context matters.
Chat, I don't think y'all realizing I be going in the negative doing this shit.
Snowcone, people go into the negative just living regular, average, day-to-day lives, right? They ride around without insurance all the time, no health care, no stable roof over their head, and deciding which meal they want to just eat and not really want to eat, but can't afford to eat. Maybe I'm skipping breakfast today, maybe I'm skipping dinner tomorrow. But ultimately, what you're saying is mighty offensive to people. Content creators gotta realize that the baiting of money and any money conversations that don't come in a positive light is not gonna make for good content. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This ungrateful streamer era is actually pretty weird, and especially because it's coming from content creators who are doing things that probably aren't going to be beneficial for them in the long run. Now, not saying this or speaking this or wishing this on her, but this is just a general sentiment. I wonder if this type of content creation bubble will burst, because everybody can't be the IRL streamer. Everybody can't spend this extreme amount of money to live up this specific lifestyle. Everybody isn't going to be a Kai Cenat. People are going broke that have never been broke before, and it's almost amazing to think that they can justify this because at the end of the day they did one stream with DDG. And granted, I do think collaboration streams can be helpful, but that one stream that you did with DDG, people came to see DDG, they did not come to see you, and that's the reality of the situation. But instead of spending $4,000 on travel, $900 on X, Y, and Z, why not focus on, you know, building your own community and making sure that you can have something that is sustainable and maintainable? That's one thing that I decided when I was going to do YouTube. Hey, I don't have too much time because I work a full-time job, and I don't want to spend so much capital that I would be going in the negative every single month in order to make banger content. At some point, it can be worth it once you reach the Mr. Beast, Kai Cenat, DDG, Agent 00 levels, where then you get brands to sponsor whole events, and you know, you're not really losing a dime there. You know, your whole production budget is made. But there's a certain point where you're going into the negative and then hopping on stream to the audience that consumed your content, and now you're being ungrateful as ever, talking to the people who just sent you potentially their last $5 or $15 to get you to a certain sub goal because you claimed that you were grateful just 2 seconds ago. I don't know, it's just really tone deaf during this specific time in American history. But I could be off, man. Let me know what y'all think. I don't like any of this money conversation or this type of specific money conversation from streamers. It was real for a second, and then it got very ungrateful very fast.
Right. This is why, as a streamer, I heard somebody told me this. I think it was the Black Okage or somebody like that. Don't talk about your money on the internet, bro. Do not talk about your money. If you make a lot of money, do not talk about your money. You a big streamer, YouTuber, whatever. Don't talk about your money. You know why? Because people gonna be in your pockets, and then once you get in your pockets, once people, like, once you, like, I mean, you can't start complaining about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say let's say you got car problems. Let's say you making $20K a month, you got car problems. You tell your stream, I got car problems. Dang, I don't know how I'm gonna get that fixed. They're gonna be like, nigga, ain't you rich? Get that motherfucker fixed. See, then you like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So like, don't, or get you a new one, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why you just keep your finances off the internet, bro. Just stream. You ain't coming for all that shit, man. Come on. But anyway, shout out to Ohmeezzy for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last Ohmeezzy video I watched right here. I don't really watch all his videos, but here's something right here. And then check out some other ones right here. And I'll catch y'all next time. People popping fireworks, nigga. It is July 8th.